welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, and in today's video, actually it's day 6 of 30 days of commitment to embodiment. In today's video, I want to talk about saturate your mind and your body and repeat or repetition, okay? Now, one of the ways that we learn either a new skill, a new habit, or we establish a new routine, or we just want to be very knowledgeable on a new topic, whatever, or even when you move somewhere and you have to figure out, the roads, the ways to get from point A to point B, or what's going on in this new town that you moved into, and the road to take to go to work, anything that's new and or different that you want to be knowledgeable of, you have to, do the research or get out there and find the information. But when you want to master it and know it like the back of your hand, you have to do it on repeat, okay? And when it comes to embodiment, it's the same principle. Because think about it. When we were young, whenever we learned something new, we had to do it many, many, many times. Something basic like tying your shoe. You didn't necessarily get it on the first shot. Maybe your parents or your guardians, the people who were there to help raise you, would show you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then you would start trying to do it by yourself. And if you needed, they'd assist you, but you had to practice it a few times before you got it right and you felt comfortable enough to do it by yourself and to do it correctly. I studied professional theater when I was in college, and this is a great example, at least for me, because we had to put on plays for a public, right? So, or do on-camera work when we would set up projects. And okay, I hope I'm not all over the place because this is all just coming to me as I'm talking to you. But if we take the example of embodiment with putting on a play. So when I chose to embody this new version of myself as an online yoga teacher who has her own business. So I know the end, right? Neville Goddard speaks about it in his teachings, living in the end, okay, when it comes to law of assumption. So I know who that version of me is. I have a clear idea. I know how she feels like, I know how she moves. I know her. Okay, so I have that information. But then on the flip side, if I think of when I was in theater, we knew the play that we had to put on, okay? Let's take let's take an example like Othello by Shakespeare, okay? We know the play, we have the script, we know all the characters, and we have the lines. We have the stage where we'll showcase the play. Like, we have the end result. Like, we know what it is. We're putting on Othello by Shakespeare, okay? So we know the end result. But then from where I'm at now to fully embody that version of myself, or to fully embody a character in that play, and to be able to one day within the next 6 weeks to put on the play and to make it believable, like it's a real thing. You're not going to see Caroline anymore. You're going to see the character that I'm playing. We rehearsed a lot, a lot. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Even when it comes to the breakdown of where we're going to be. Okay, when you say this line, you're here. We put an X mark on the ground. And then this other character is going to say this and that line. And when they do, you're going to move from this X to that X. We mark the spot. And then when that happens, so you make the move, so we know, okay, this is what happens. And then we repeat it, we repeat it, we repeat it. So then it becomes, you know, it becomes part of me. I know I've done it enough times to know that, okay, when I say this line, I'm standing here. The other character is going to say this and that line. When they do, I make the move, I go over there. I don't need to look at the floor to know where the X mark is. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to figure it out like, oh my God, where do I have to go? No, I've done it so many times that it's natural now. I just know it. Same thing with the lines. You can have so many lines to say, but the more you study them, the more you repeat them, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat, comes the point where you don't need somebody to feed you your lines anymore. You just know them, okay? And then you can play the role with ease, all right? It's the same thing with the embodiment. You have to saturate your mind and your body so much and repeat, repeat, repeat until it becomes you, okay? Because growing up, like I said before, we needed time to really learn certain things. And even as a grown up, you know, when you learn something new, you have to saturate your mind with the information and repeat, repeat, repeat. If you have a new road for this new job that you have to take a new road and it's in an area that you're not too familiar with. At first, you're probably going to put on Google Maps or Waze so it can help you figure out the roads. Will come the point where you don't need them anymore because you've done it so many times to go to work and to come back from work that now you know that road. So growing up, think about it. Our minds were saturated by our whatever was surrounding us when we were growing up. So our environment, our parents, our teachers in school, our influences from, you know, other people we were connected to, maybe our religion, our religious upbringing, etc. All those saturated our young minds for us from like 0 to 7, 8 years old. Our brains just took in all that information and it all got dumped in the back of our minds, in our subconscious mind. Our minds were saturated and then they help form who we are and shape the beliefs that we have and the perception that we have on life. So it was all done with repetition. The number of times my mama would say, you know, let's say at night, go brush your teeth, go do your bird bath. And when I wouldn't do it, did you brush your teeth? Did you do your birth bath? Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Go do it. Okay, you know. Every time she would repeat it every morning. Me and my brothers, go brush your teeth, go do your bird bath. Every night, go brush your teeth, go do your bird bath. She kept repeating. Why? Because she knew that in order for it to become a natural habit for us to do that, our morning or nighttime routine, she had to keep on repeating it until the moment that we would just start doing it on our own, that it's programmed into our minds, and now she doesn't need to tell us anymore, right? Even in school, I don't know today how things go on in school, but growing up, we had, if you did something wrong, we had to do, in French, we say faire des copies. In English, I don't know if it's the direct translation to do copies, but you know, you had to write the same sentence all over again, like 300 times type thing, okay? If you watch The Simpsons, I remember in the beginning of the show, when they played the song of the show and you see Bart at the chalkboard, and he's writing the same sentence a million times because he did something wrong, and now his punishment is to write, I will not do this, whatever, like 100 times, you know? Repetition. Like if we keep repeating that into your mind, even if you write it or you speak it or you think it, or somebody else tells you, it's to saturate your mind, to program your subconscious mind. So even now, if you're like, you know, you're grown, use the same, I mean, it worked, right? We repeated things so many times that it became us. So if that method works, it can also work for you to embody that version of yourself that you know you want to be, okay? So saturate your mind and your body, because number one, in the mind, you can do it with affirmations, you can do it by journaling, you can do it with scripting, you can do it with sat scenes, you can do it, you can loop it in your mind, You can, even with songs, you can listen to rampages, subliminals, etc. There are so many ways to saturate the mind so that it can get to your subconscious mind. But add to that, saturate your body. How? This is where the feelings of it comes in. So how does it feel when you say a certain affirmation? Let's say you robotic affirming. Let's say if you repeat 10,000 times per day. Can somebody do that actually? I don't know. But if you repeat, let's say 10,000 times per day, that I am loved and I am chosen. Okay. Now, on one hand, some people it works to just repeat it and not feel anything, just to repeat it to program the mind. But I say go a step further. We're talking about embodiment. It has to be felt in the body. The body has to be in full agreement and in full coherence and in alignment with what's going on in your mind. So how does it feel to be loved and to be chosen? You know, you can do exercises where you just sit with that and observe the sensations in your body. How does it actually feel? And once you feel that, you want to be able to saturate your body with those sensations on command. So when you do repeat, I am chosen, I am loved, you want to feel that rush of sensations, that feeling in your body. Okay? So that your body and your mind are in complete alignment. Because if you embody a different version of yourself, it's because that the word says it's different. It's not the same as how you feel or how you used to feel as the former version of yourself. It's a new version of yourself. So that new version has a different feel, has a different physical vibe. So feeling loved and chosen doesn't feel the same as unloved and rejected or never chosen, right? So you want to saturate your mind and saturate your body. To saturate your mind, find the way that works best for you. You know, I give a list of examples. Find the way, and you can try them all out and see which one really clicks for you. Find the one that you can start with, and it can shift over time. You can change. That's okay. Okay, but pick one that you can start with and start saturating your mind, like just flooding your mind with that positive affirmation or, you know, whatever fits for you and that version of yourself that you want to embody. Plus, saturating the body with the sensations that are in alignment, in agreement with that affirmation, let's say. Okay, you really want to take the time to do that. You can do that in the morning, you can do that at night, whenever you have some time to just be able to sit with your body and, you know, saturate your body with these feelings, with these sensations of feeling, let's say, loved and chosen. And will come the point, kind of like when I give the example of doing theater and putting on a play, will come a point where it'll just be natural for you to feel that way. So when I would go on stage, let's say we use the same example, and let's say we would put on Othello, whatever character that I play, that character, you know, whatever feelings she's supposed to embody and portray and showcase so people would see me and believe that I'm that character and not Caroline, you know, because I rehearsed it so much, I could do it on command. I could show up on stage no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling before I hop on that stage. And that's happened to me before, actually. Years ago, I had I had bed bugs, okay, at this apartment. That was in 2018, 19, whatever. I had bed bugs, and I had a physical reaction to the bed bugs, and I had to take some medicine for it. And I reacted to the medicine. This was on day 2 of all these physical reactions. I was puffy. I had like red spots on my body. I felt sick. Listen, I was about to go on stage, and I was backstage. I threw up in a bucket, and then I rinsed my mouth, popped a few minutes in my mouth, and I heard my cue, and I went on that stage and completely shifted. Went from Caroline not feeling well, being sick, and having all these reactions in her body, and even throwing up, to the next minute, like as soon as I heard my cue, like on command, like phew, Caroline, the not feeling well, went way to the side to the back seat, and at the wheel was the character that I was playing in that play. And literally, no one in the crowd could have guessed that I just threw up and that I was not doing well, because I fully embodied that character at that very moment. Because I repeated it and practiced it, rehearsed it so many times. I just knew how to like switch on, switch off. I knew when to switch on the character that I was playing. And that's thanks to all the rehearsals of saturating my mind with all the with the script, all my lines, my cues, the breakdown of where I had to be, you know, when the lines were said, where I had to move to, all that jazz, like the play itself, you know, and my parts in it. Even the parts that were not my parts, like I just knew it, right? Because I repeated it and rehearsed it so much, I saturated my mind with all that information, saturated my body with the feelings and sensations of my character. How would my character react to like hearing this other character say their lines or this happening? What was her reaction? How would she respond? Because you still act even if you're on stage and you don't have lines. Because as a real human, if somebody's sitting next to you saying some wild shit, you'd be like, oh, you know, you will have a reaction, right? So all of that, it came natural from the character that I was playing and who she was. I embodied her, and we repeated it. We rehearsed so many times, running the play so many times, running the scene so many times, that it became natural. Okay, so this is what I encourage you to try in your embodiment journey. Saturate your mind with, you know, the thoughts that this embodiment of you thinks. And those thoughts, those affirmations, repeat, 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 repeat. Saturate your mind, your subconscious mind. At some point, it's going to break through. It might break through immediately. It might take some time. Don't worry about all that. Just worry about, well, worry, that's not the right word, but just concern yourself with, I'm going to saturate my mind. And then from there, again, you want to match the body to what's going on in the mind. So take some time, be with your body, commune with the energy of what it is you're saturating your mind with. If we use the same example as before, I am loved, I am chosen. How does that feel in your body to feel that way? To think that way? To know this is who you are. I'm naturally loved and chosen. And saturate your body with those sensations. Take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, eat during your lunch break, at night while you go on a walk, while you're driving, when you're stuck in traffic. Take a minute, just like take a couple of deep belly breaths, center yourself, say the affirmation, say an I am statement. I am loved, I am chosen, and feel it in your body. Take time to saturate your body with those sensations, and then repeat that. Repeat, repeat, repeat until it becomes you. Okay? So now to close up this video, a little quick update on my own journey. That is what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. And last night I had another beautiful moment of being inspired. So I go for nightly walks, and sorry if I'm not talking too loud because my bestie is sleeping in the next room. But last night I went for my walk, and I went to walk by the water, and it was so nice. And before I went on my walk, I was feeling some type of way because a memory was triggered earlier that evening, and it just made me feel nostalgic and a little bit sad and whatever. And I allowed space for those feelings to be, right? For those thoughts that came along with it. I gave them space, you know, to feel nostalgic and a little bit sad, and allowing that to just express itself. But then came a point where I was like, okay, well, that's enough. Like, I'm setting a boundary. Like, we had a good hour of just being in those feelings, but I don't want to stay there. I don't want to live there. I don't want to set up camp in those feelings for the rest of my night. So I went and took a shower, and I went out for my walk. And as soon as I start walking, my energy is starting to shift. And I got by the water and just looking at the water, the trees, the stars, seeing a plane fly by. And then I saw the moon and how her light was shining down on the water. And it just felt so expansive. Like, spaciousness. And all those feelings that I had felt before just vanished. And so I kept walking and I felt good. And as I was walking, I got this inspired idea that just downloaded immediately without looking for it or asking for it. And that inspired idea is in relation to the embodiment that I am, currently embodying, the version of myself that I'm currently embodying. And I had this idea and I was like, oh my God, how come I never thought of that? And I got so excited. Okay, so today that's actually what I'm going to be putting together, is that inspired idea that came last night. So I thought that was so beautiful, and it just keeps confirming to me that I don't have to I was going to say I don't have to do anything, but I mean, I did do something because I went and took my shower and I went for a walk, right? So I did take action, but I took action from a different space within me, from the space within me that was like, okay, I gave space to feelings, to certain feelings, and now I'm ready to move on. So how am I going to move on? Well, I know myself, so I know that going for my walks always feels good. And going on those walks is also comes from the embodiment of that version of myself that I already had within me anyways. It was already within me, and it's something that I love to do and that makes me feel good. So I knew I could go and do that, right? So when I went and did that, the inspired idea came through. Well, number one, it dissipated, it removed those sensations that I felt that didn't feel good. And then from a place of expansiveness and spaciousness within me and feeling so good and enjoying my night, enjoying my walk, boom, the idea came through. So it just confirms that that's all I have to do. It's just be on that vibration. So doing that was just confirmation once again to follow my intuition. My intuition told me, go shower and get out the house, go for your walk. That's it. It didn't tell me something's gonna come for you. No, it just said, go shower, so cleanse that energy, then go for a walk, it'll cleanse the inner energy. And and walking feels so good. It'll move some energy around. It'll just feel good anyways. Okay? So just trusting that intuitive guidance. So, all right, I think that's it for today. Matter of fact, I know that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, how's it going on your journey? What's going on your journey? How do you feel about what I shared today? Let's have a conversation about it, all right? So if this video resonated with you, if this is your vibe, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in tomorrow's video for day 7. There goes my niece. So yeah, that's my cue to go. Let me go see what she's up to. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.